Hi guys, this is Alia Jamal. I am the love coach and I help women unravel unconditional love for themselves. And I am so excited to be here today and talk about this amazing topic that us women don't realize because we do indulge into a lot of thinking and overthinking. And the topic is our thoughts create our reality. And if this is the first time that you're even hearing this concept, please listen carefully. And if you have heard this before, then I will be going deeper into how this actually happens to understand the energetics of it. That's how I understood it, and that's how I like to explain to my clients too. So, how come our thoughts can create our reality? The first time I heard this, it made me very upset because it was so true. I could see the thoughts that I had in my past years and the reality I was living. But even though I knew at some level after learning it that I created it, for the longest time I did not want to own the responsibility. I still wanted to blame other people. That's natural. We all do that. And then eventually we have to grow out of it because um, our reality does not change till we choose to change it, till we choose those new thoughts, more aligned thoughts with our vision where we are headed. So let's get into the thinking process. So, thinking usually comes, we see something. Maybe you saw something in your environment as a kid. Maybe you saw something that is happening around you right now. Maybe you watched a movie. Us women, when we are looking at something, we become part of it. We feel like it's happening to us. That's why it's very easy for a woman to cry while she's watching a sappy scene in a movie than for a man. I remember back in the day when me that then my husband, now my friend, me and my best friend, that's what I'm just gonna call him. Me and my best friend, we used to sit down and just watch a movie, and I'll be crying and he'll be just looking at me, what's wrong with you? And even the next day, I would be living with that movie as if it's just taken over me. That's just how we are. So I feel like every human needs to be very careful what they think and how they think and where their thoughts are going. But for us women, because our brain is very overactive, we are multitasker, it's even more important for us to be a little bit more careful. So when we see something in our environment, then what our brain does, it goes in the subconscious mind, it looks for a belief. The beliefs get created from 0 to 7. I'll be doing a separate video on beliefs. So it brings those beliefs, and based on those beliefs, we are going to analyze what's going in our environment, and we are going to start thinking about it. Can it happen to me? It happened to my neighbor. It happened to my mom. It happened to my friend. Can it happen to me? And then, as soon as you have that first negative thought, a lot of other thoughts follow. And I want to explain why it happens that way. Our brain, when it's thinking, it's creating these electromagnetic signals. And if we can think, and I know there are machines, there are all kind of technology right now that can show you. So the brain activity, we all have seen that picture. So what happens, it's like right here, a cloud kind of thing is forming, and that is a thought. A thought is a living entity in the energetic world, the energy that we don't see, the energy around our body that we don't see. It's an actual living thing. And the more you think, the more energy you're giving it, because you are the source of energy. You created that thought. And then the more energy you give it, you can say like the more magnetic it becomes, or you can say the more bigger it becomes, whatever is easy for you to grasp. And then what happens, all the surroundings in you, whatever the negative thought is, like just la 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 hanging out there, come join us, join this thought. So you might think about, um, you just got a new car and you're like, oh no, somebody might scratch it. You will be surprised. The next thought would be, what if someone like, um, hit into my newly parked car on the road? And you will see in the next 5 minutes, you would have in your imagination total the car and be without a car. It can get downhill very, very quickly. And when we are going through that process, all that is happening, there's like, this specific frequency that we have created, and all the frequencies that are the same match are coming and connecting with it. And then it becomes a thing. And if we don't let it go right away, I'm not saying that you're just going to think about it once and it will happen, because it needs to have enough energy to materialize in your life. But let's say we all have those very dark moments, those secret thoughts, which we just develop on. And it could be a fear of abandonment, it could be a fear of loneliness, it could be a fear of going broke, it could be a fear of being single for the rest of your life, it could be a fear of being a total loser, whatever your fear is. And you have to analyze it because only you know it. No one can tell it to you. When you are feeling down, what are the thoughts that come to you repeatedly? Last month, when you were sad, you thought about it. This month, when you're sad, you're still thinking about it. Next month, you're still thinking about it. What are those thoughts? That's what I'm talking about. Those thoughts, every time you think, you're kind of like feeding it. It's like a baby. You're feeding it every time you think about it because you're giving it more energy. The more energy it gets, the bigger and fatter it gets, and there's more chances of it materializing in your life. So that was the basic concept of how a thought can actually materialize in your life. Now, that's not a problem. A lot of people can understand that. The problem is how to change it, because negative thinking is an actual real addiction. Because when we are thinking negatively, there are certain chemicals that are being created in our brain, and our brain gets used to it, just like any other substance abuse. That is a kind of substance abuse too. And it's unfortunate we don't realize that, and we don't highlight it in our life. And no one can know. No one can know you're a negative thinking person because it's all in your head. You can have a smile on your face, and you could be just sitting there thinking all kind of negative thoughts, and no one will know. So, the first thing that you can do, that this is what I discovered to be the easiest way: cut the energy source. Your brain is thinking, don't give any, don't like, send all the energy to your brain, send energy to your heart. Wherever the focus would be, that's where the energy will go. So put your hand on your heart. One, two, um, I keep forgetting, not the physical heart chakra. That's what I mean. Middle of your chest. Put your hand in the middle of your chest and breathe from there. Take a couple of breaths. And right away, you will feel like there's a shift, like the activity here went down and all the focus is here. The more you stay here, the easier it is to keep your brain activity calm, low, down, and you would be more focused on the one thing that you're doing instead of having all those background thoughts going on. Um, I mean, I'm sure you have had experience where you're at work and you're thinking, what I'm gonna cook tonight, what do I have to get? And all those are going on while you're trying to work, and then it's taking a little longer, you're leaving late. So if we stay in our heart, we can focus on whatever is in front of us because we are present. We are in that moment. Um, that is one thing you can do. There are many other ways. There's like, write down your thoughts, like get like find the root of it, this, that, a lot of technical stuff. You will find I found a bunch of things out there to control your negative thinking. And one of them is like, just try to think positive. But when you're addicted, your brain is addicted to those chemicals. It's not that easy. You can't just quit smoking because you just woke up and you're like, oh, I'm gonna quit smoking. We always have to temper it down. I find it the easiest. Even with my clients, I tell them just connect with your heart as much as you can. If you are a person and you have an addiction of negative thinking, overthinking, worrying, anxiety, any of those, if you have that and your thoughts just get so chaotic, connect with your heart as much as you can during the day. As soon as you wake up, maybe every hour, maybe every 30 minutes, or maybe 5 times a day, 10 times a day, whatever you need to make that shift, do that. Um, and now the next thing is, yes, we understood how they can create our reality in a negative way, but the reason we have been given this faculty of thinking, human are the highest creation that we are aware of. Um, the reason we are given this faculty is to create. We can imagine things, we can create thoughts at will, we can come up with images, and we can actually make those images part of our reality. So let's say if you have a goal, if you have a project that you're working on, consciously thinking about that, first you have to come up with a thought. What are you going to think about it? Let's say um, uh, you want to start a business. I'm in business right now, so that was easier for me. You want to start a business right now. The first thing your brain is going to tell you, it's really hard. It's a very unstable. It requires a lot of work. You would have to do this by yourself. You would have to do that by yourself. Now, all those thoughts are what you have observed, what you have heard, all the stuff that's sitting in your subconscious mind. So, by your will, you will move forward and make a choice. I'm going to do it because I want to, I choose to. It brings me happiness. And then you will create an image that you are a successful business owner, or you have certain amount of income, or whatever feels easier to you. Or if you're opening a shop, your shop is already open, all the stuff is there, the name is there, it's fully stocked, there's a lot of people. So you take that image and you keep that in your mind and you keep focusing on that image. The more you focus on it, the more energy you're sending it, the more the chances of it becoming real in your own life. Now, how can you think about it? So, especially if you are in like going for this goal business, then you need to think of new thoughts. Business is easy. Business brings freedom. Business brings a freedom of how much you can create, how much impact you can create, how much income you can generate. And whenever the negative thoughts come up, just switch to what you have already written down. And in the beginning, when we are getting into this habit of switching our thoughts a little bit, it's easier if you write down what I would like to think. Yes, I think this way. Instead, what I would like to think. Write down those thoughts and just focus on those thoughts. And you will be amazed how easy it would be to create the life of your dreams. So we can use like the thoughts if we are not conscious about them, if we are not aware about them, they can really take us downhill. And if we are aware, we can create whatever we want to create because they are so powerful. And when you would be connecting with your heart more and more, you are putting your hand on your heart, you're breathing through it, you're saying thank you to this place. Saying thank you brings even more energy. Your thoughts will become even more powerful because instead of having 100 thoughts of about 100 different things, when your energy is focused on your heart and you're thinking about one thing, so all the energy of that 100 is going to that one thing. You're so focused. Just how you can be present with whatever you're doing when you are connected with your heart, you would be present with whatever you're thinking and you're sending energy to and making it part of your reality. um, and it really makes life easier. It makes life more beautiful, and it helps you realize how powerful you are. And if by now you're just like, "Oh, I'm not sure if that is true," just look at your life experiences. What kind of thoughts you have had in past 3 to 5 years? Because most likely that's the reality you're living right now. And you can create the next 3 to 5 years based on what you would choose to think today. And connecting with your heart make it super easy. I find it the easiest way to control your thoughts and focus them in a better, more creative direction than just letting them loose. That's like all the energy, creative energy, going to waste because you're just sitting there thinking all the thinkless, useless, meaningless things. You are so powerful. You are more powerful than you can ever imagine. Use the power of your heart and create the life of your dreams. And if you need my help, please reach out and I would love to help you and guide you on this journey. That's all for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you. Bye.